I talk a lot about marketing on this platform, but one of the best marketing campaigns is Bitcoin. It's managed to convince people if they get in early enough, they can get rich. But this is all hype. Here are 10 reasons why Bitcoin will never be a global default currency. Number one is most people that have Bitcoin don't actually spend Bitcoin. We call them hoarders or speculators. They're looking for short-term or long-term gain. They don't want to miss out. When is the last time you ever saw anyone buy anything with Bitcoin? Whether it's a pizza, a pair of shoes, a car, a house, all those things that you want to buy, money can already buy those things. You don't need another currency to buy those things. Number two, it's ineffective as a currency for a number of reasons, but this one is time per transaction. Did you know it takes an average of 10 minutes to get your transaction approved on the blockchain? So when you're sitting at the grocery store, you want to buy something, you submit a transaction to the blockchain, somebody has to approve that. And how they do that is you pay them a fee, a transaction fee. So if you pay a higher transaction fee, you get it approved faster. But often the transaction fees will be higher than the thing that you're buying, so it becomes so pointless. And if you want lower transaction fees, you might have to wait a couple hours for your transaction to approve. Number three, high transaction fees. Already said this, won't go into it any further. Number four is a lack of regulation. There's no governing body, nobody owns cryptocurrency or Bitcoin. It's inherently decentralized. So if you lose your password or you forget it, or the company that is holding all your money goes out of business, which happens all the time, then you lose your entire net worth. When you can lose your entire net worth because you forgot a password or you lose your wallet, it makes people incredibly nervous to put any significant portion of their net worth into this. And there's no way to recover it. There's no customer service support you can call. There's no insurance. And because there's a lack of regulation, it attracts a lot of bad actors who come to Bitcoin and create some fake exchange, take everyone's money, and then they take off. This happens all the time. It's also too easy to hide money. Governments are not going to like this. How are they going to tax someone when they can obfuscate their money? Number five is instability. So Bitcoin is not pegged to anything. It rises and falls based on supply and demand, human speculation, and there's these wild fluctuations throughout the day or throughout a short period of time where the value can increase or decrease by 10, 20, 30%. Now imagine you take a loan, you borrow $100,000 in Bitcoin, and by the time you have to pay that loan back, Bitcoin is now worth $1 million. That's gonna make you incredibly nervous to take Bitcoin out as a loan. Now, adversely, if you're a lender, say you lend someone 100,000 in Bitcoin and then Bitcoin drops to zero. So that makes lenders incredibly nervous to lend Bitcoin. And a lot of our economy is based on lending, credit cards and mortgages and student loans and lines of credit. It's all lending. Number six is Bitcoin is incredibly complicated. If you ever have gone down the path of trying to learn about Bitcoin, there is so many, terminologies and technologies and just learning about the different wallets, it's so confusing. And for the average person, they're just not gonna be able to figure all this stuff out. Number seven, it's incredibly wasteful. Just mining Bitcoin requires so much energy. It's really bad for the environment. Number eight, it competes with other currencies and other cryptocurrencies. There are 5,000 cryptocurrencies, and each government will probably have its own currency, and different companies will have their own currency. Getting everybody to agree on one thing will be incredibly difficult. Number nine, and this is a big one, is China owns a huge controlling stake in Bitcoin. A lot of the Bitcoin mines are in China. A lot of the technology that is used to mine Bitcoin is produced in China. One of the biggest exchanges in the world, Binance, is from China. So I can't go into this in this video, but trust me, there's a possibility that China could bankrupt Bitcoin and come up with their own global cryptocurrency like the Chinese Bitcoin. That's a super legitimate possibility. Number 10 is scalability. The supply of Bitcoin is fixed. There's only a certain amount of it, and getting more of it, mining new Bitcoin is incredibly difficult. Now, one thing I will say is that investing in Bitcoin is not the same as investing in blockchain technology. Blockchain technology has a lot of promise, and what I think will likely happen is that governments all over the world will have their own cryptocurrency, and it'll be centralized, which is not the kind of essence of Bitcoin, and it'll be regulated, it'll be simple, it'll be stable, but that's not all that different than what we have today. So it makes it kind of moot.